We got another interesting interview today from another indie director. This time it's Racheal Cain. Hello, Racheal.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So Racheal has directed a new indie movie called SOMNIUM, which is an interesting new horror. The story is an experimental sleep clinic, Somnium. Dreams are made real. You'll have to excuse my reading, it's terrible. Side effects may include hallucinations, confusion, paranoia, sleep paralysis, detachment from reality, lost sense of self, and permanent nightmares. I mean, how would you describe the movie? Obviously, that's a good introduction, but how would you describe the movie?
Yeah, I think I typically say it is a psychological thriller, dark kind of drama about this young woman who moves to LA to be an actor and to get on her feet in Los Angeles. She takes a job at this clinic that through this 6 week sleep procedure can somehow make people's wildest dreams their reality. And so, yeah, she's working the overnight shift there. Some strange, unsettling things start happening around her. And yeah, she uncovers a web of secrets at this clinic that are spooky.
Very, yeah, it's nicely done. So the main star of the movie, Chloe Levine,
I think
um,
it's a little, yeah.
she stars as Gemma. I mean, how did you meet Gemma first of all? Because obviously, with a movie like this, she's got to carry the film, and she
Yeah.
does it very, very well. How did you first meet her?
Yeah, I got so lucky with Chloe. So Chloe was the first piece that came on came on through my casting director, Bess Pfeiffer. So we shot this film in two phases. We shot all of the flashback scenes, all of Gemma's flashbacks in 2018, and we used that footage to shop the project and the script to raise financing for all of the rest of the movie, the LA scenes. So we actually ended up taking a 4 year gap before we were able to pick back up again and film the rest of the movie. So she came on, so early in the creative process,
Wow.
and I'm lucky that she held on with me for those 4 years because you never know. And I was nervous, but grateful she held on. But yeah, she came to me through my casting director, and I had seen her work. The OA was one of my favorite series at the time, and she's in that. She's great, and yeah, like you said, she's got to carry it. And I think it was just trusting her ability, and she surprised even me. She's so talented. It's incredible. So, yeah.
We'll come back to the fact of how long the movie took to make because I've read some interesting articles about that, but we'll come back to
Cool.
that. Um, is Gemma's story, the character of Gemma, do you think that's a familiar one trying to get work in Hollywood?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I think a lot of people have told me that they relate to it, for better or worse. But I kind of wanted her to always be this like everyman character. We all have dreams. LA is just the city of dreams in a literal sense. So, but yeah, for me, it was kind of, I always wanted anyone to be able to relate to this, and this feeling of a new place and isolation and the awkwardness of trying to make friends and but still trying to find a way to believe in yourself. And I think at the core of it, that's what this movie's about is that sense of self and holding on to it.
Yeah. I mean, the story itself has got several different layers to it. I've now seen it twice because I wanted to watch it again before I spoke to you today. And the first time I kind of watched it as a horror film, but this time I really soaked up the story. Um, a weird question without giving away too much of the ending, but how much of the movie is actually sort of set in Gemma's reality as opposed to something else?
Well, I get this question and I always like to leave it ambiguous. Um, I don't, I, because honestly, one of my favorite things is like hearing all the different ways that people interpret it. And I love that. And that's some of my favorite movies do that for me. So I wouldn't want to steal that from anyone. But yes, I like to leave it up to interpretation.
No, that's I to completely understand. Like I say, sometimes it's different things to different people.
Yeah.
Like I say, with some of the layers, I just made a note here about there's layers about friendship, about letting go, about following your dreams. Do you think to yourself to get across there was like a single narrative that you were trying to get across?
Um, yeah, I think so. I think for me, I was always holding on to the narrative of the fear element and this sense of because what is fear? And it's like she's running from it through the film, so it's kind of closing in on her. So in my mind, it's always like getting closer and closer until, she finally has to face it. And so that was the one thing that I always try to kind of keep my eye on is where's this creature character in all of this? How close is it to her and how is she responding to it? And yeah, I think that's the main one for me. But yes, yeah, there are so many storylines that I had to balance.
Again, the writing of it is very interesting. The other thing that came across to me, which I've absolutely loved, is how did you come up with the sound design? Because it's not really
Um,
music as such in places. You kind of use sounds to sort of play it out as music. Where did that come from?
yeah, I like that you picked up on that because that was a fun thing. Some of it wasn't totally clear, but the lines were blurred where we would use pieces of the score as a sound element or we would use sound as score. So that was fun. But yeah, it was just always a collaboration with I had two composers, Peter Rick and then Mike Forst, and my sound designer, Miles, lives here in Austin with me. And so I got to go in. I probably annoyed him so much, but I would go in constantly and sit there because it's one of my favorite parts of this whole process is sound. And yeah, just picking out all the elements. What do the sleep pods sound like when you're in them? And, what does this world sound like once you enter it? And what does the creature sound like was a huge back and forth. We tried so many different things. We started with I think it was like pig sounds, and then we went to birds, and none of it was feeling right. And finally, it's just like Miles with throwing a ton of effects on his own voice, just like screeching. But yeah, just a lot of back and forth until it felt right.
No, no, no. It came over really well. It's one of those things. I do love sound design in movies. I
Mhm.
work with a friend who used to work for the BBC doing it, and it's really highlighted me now that it plays. It's almost a character in the film. Um, no, Somnium itself has taken quite a while to get to the screen, hasn't it? I mean, without going through too much detail, because we'll be here for a while. But I mean, how long has it actually taken from initial concept to get it to where it is today?
Yeah, I mean, initial concept, I started writing it in 2012, so that would be 13 years. I'm not completely insane. I would put it down for months at a time and try to, work on something else, but it always kept coming back. And yeah, this thing just wanted to be made because it just kept kind of like when I would put it down, something miraculous would happen with it, and I'd be like, okay, fine. But yeah, it was a long journey, and then yeah, really started getting going in 2018 and then filmed the rest in 2021. And then post-production was a long process because we had such little money for the vision. And so it just, when you don't have money, it takes time. And so it took my VFX artist like probably almost 2 years to get through all of our shots.
They really pay off though, because they are. You wouldn't know this was an indie movie. You would.
Yeah.
One thing I'm always stunned about is the production values, and it was fantastic. The special effects were really good. I think it was an author over here called Douglas Adams who said trying to make a film in Hollywood is like trying to cook a steak by having 20 people breathe on it, and it sounds exactly what you were going through.
Yeah.
So, just as a quick break, because I know you've probably been talking about the movie all day, we're going to have a quick fire round just to get to know Racheal a little better. So,
Cool.
don't have to think too much about the answers, but just like I say, it's just to get to know Racheal as a director a bit better. So, tea or coffee?
Oh, coffee. Easy.
See, most, I'm British. It's tea for me.
Yeah.
Um,
I love
which
coffee.
which actor would you most love to work with?
Ooh, Frances McDormand is a dream. She's so awesome. Yeah, a
Mm,
lot of Woody Harrelson is a big one. He was kind of someone I had in mind while writing Brooks. Yeah, I'll go with those two, sure.
fair enough. What's the best movie ever made?
Whoa.
It's
Oh
one of those
man.
things. It's constantly emotion. But I mean, what's the first film that when I said that, what's the first film that came into your head?
Yeah, I mean, my favorite movie I'll say is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and I think that could fall in the category of best movies ever made because it feels so alive to me. Like I can watch it 100 times and still feel it and find something new. And I think that is one of the coolest things about film.
Yeah. Okay, then. So, what's your guilty pleasure movie?
Um, I'll go with hmm. I'm trying to not give the same answer, but my guilty pleasure. I love just classic horror. So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream. Those are like always fun ones when I need to feel better. Like comfort movies.
I kind of get
Um,
what you're saying, but yeah. No. um, Marvel or DC?
I have to say Marvel because my brother worked for them at one point, so I'll say Marvel.
Fair enough. Favorite TV show?
I love Severance. I think, it's been on the top of my mind lately. I just watched season two, and I mean, I clearly draws from Eternal Sunshine, so I'm saying the same thing here, but yeah, I think it's so well written.
Fair enough. If you
Oh
could have directed any movie from the past, which movie would it be?
my goodness. Um,
To put your own interpretation or your own kind of twist on it.
I know, I'm like, what big budget movies would be so nice to direct something with some money? Um,
I mean, it's funny enough. I've spoken to people in the past, and I've said that, but also with the money come kind of more money, more problems. You know, you've got more production and that kind of thing. Being independent, sometimes you get the creative freedom of what you want to do.
that is
But,
true.
I mean, we're going off
Yeah.
track. But I mean, yeah, if there was a movie you could have directed, what would it be?
Let's just say Blair Witch because how fun and you really can't do better than that movie. So,
That freaked me out for a long time. That film, it was great. It was really good.
yeah.
Um, Star Wars or Star Trek?
I'll say Star Wars. It's my go-to.
I say there's no wrong answers, but there was there.
Yeah.
Have you ever been starstruck?
Yes, one time and one time only, and it was with Oprah.
Oh wow! Oh no,
I love Oprah Winfrey, my girl.
no, no. Fair enough. That's somebody
I
to
like
get.
melted. I was like, Oprah.
um, what's the most amount of takes you've ever had to do?
Takes on set, you
Yeah.
mean? So the most takes I think we did, and everyone wanted to kill me, but I knew I had to get it right. It's the opening. It's the very first shot in the movie when we're going over her dresser and you see the plane ticket and we're crossing her room.
Yeah.
That was this giant jib arm in this tiny bedroom. And it took, I think we ended up going like 14 takes, which was a lot with that one because it's a
Because
slow shot.
that is an opener as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But guess which take we used? Number
First one.
14. So
Oh right.
gotta get it
Okay.
right.
No, fair enough. Have you got a favorite band or singer?
I do. Yeah, it's a Big Thief, my favorite band.
Oh, I've lost your sound there.
Oh
It
no.
might be me though.
Can you hear me?
I've
Oh.
lost sound. I don't know why.
Hmm.
I can hear
Oh, come on,
you.
computer. Why are you doing this to me now? um, we'll
Hmm.
carry on and I'll edit this down and it'll be
Okay.
seamless.
Okay.
Um, the last question was, what's the most fun you've ever had on set?
The most fun I've ever had on set. Well, I want to give two answers. Okay. Honestly, the last week of filming Somnium, we were shooting in a real abandoned psych ward, and we were completely convinced that it was haunted. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah. Stressful week, but it was fun.
Annoyingly, I missed that, but I can now hear you. So
Oh,
I'll
you
have
good?
I'll have fun with that later on. So
Okay, good luck.
apologies for that. But that's the end of our quick fire round.
Cool. I
So
made it.
where can people see Somnium at the moment?
Yeah, Somnium is out on digital. You can watch it on your home TV, on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Fandango at home, Google Play, all the classics. Yeah, it is finally available as of this week, so check it out.
I haven't reviewed it yet because I was waiting to do the interview with you, but it's going to get a good score from me because it was I have to watch a lot of horror with a lot of indie films. It was one of those things that was just a little bit of a diamond in the rough. You know that it did stuck out a little bit better as some of the slop I have to watch. So,
Well, thank you.
in all seriousness, like I say, it was a cracking film, and for a first-time director, very impressive to watch.
Thank you. Oh, appreciate that.
Um, and just very quickly, what are you working on next?
Um, well, I am trying to give myself a little break. It's been so long. I'm trying to give myself a break, honestly, like for creative reasons too. I need a little reset, but eventually I want to write something smaller, maybe like one or two locations, way smaller cast, make my life easier so that I can really get to the good stuff, which is just like being on set and the shot design and all of that. So yeah, that's
Fair
all I
enough.
know.
Racheal, we really look forward to it, and thank you for joining us here at the Last Movie Outpost.
Thank you so much. This was awesome.